We're here at Knaggs Guitars today, and even in the future, we're going to do some little features on some of the local artists, some of the local players that are playing our guitars out there every day. We wanted to start this whole thing with our good friend Mike Mchenry. Okay. Many people around the area know Mike. Mike's been playing forever. Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where were you born?
I was born in Annapolis, Maryland, right at the Navy Hospital. My dad was in the Army.
Oh, okay.
So I was born right there, and did a lot of growing up in Annapolis and Eastport. And then my dad being in an Army, we lived in Germany for 6 years. I think I know somebody from Germany is around here somewhere. But you know those German people with their attitudes and stuff. So, but anyway, but I lived in Stuttgart for a time, for 3 years, in Mannheim for 3 years, which is really cool. And being in Stuttgart, I was I can't remember how old, maybe like a fourth or fifth grade, and an artist. A band called Jimi Hendrix Experience were playing like at a place like right outside the Army base in Stuttgart. And I'd never heard of them, of course. And I had three older siblings, two sisters and a brother. And then a brother that's a year older than me. Now, they were teenagers, so they went. And in those days, you know, a show would start at like 5 o'clock. And, you know, not like now, but, you know, it started at 5 o'clock, you know, in the evening. And so they went, and me and my brother, we stood outside. And they had these big glass doors with a big piece of rubber between, and every time the door would open, it's like an airplane crashing, and that fascinated me. That's why I wanted a guitar. You know, I wanted to make those noises. It blows even my mind now to think I was that close to it. One day I went to a store for my mom, and I was coming back, and she said, "Don't cut across the basketball court, because that's where these dudes hung out." And of course I cut across the basketball court, and this guy, he had a blue GTO, and he had a pig nose amp, and he had a Stratocaster, just, you know, tearing it up, you know. And he saw me staring at him, and he called me over, and he strapped his guitar on me, and I strummed it one time, the biggest grin on my face, you know what I mean? So he actually came to my house and told my mom, you know, you should get him a guitar. He really wants a guitar, you know. And I started learning just one string at a time. Wow. You know, the same guy told me it was the song Purple Haze. He said, the song's in the key of E. This is the E string. So I went, oh, that's in there. Until I found each note on that string. And then I did it one string at a time until I was able to go across the neck. The first time I went on like what you would call a tour, I guess, was I was 15. There was some older guys in my neighborhood, and they were going, like, you know, doing like little short tours, and they wanted me to go and play with them. But my mom was like, you ain't going out with those dudes, because you might start smoking reefer or something. And so I was high when she told me that. But you know, and growing up, you know, we were required to go to church every Sunday. And I went to church one Sunday, and there was this choir of young people visiting from Texas. So you know, so they played, and I played, you know, a little bit, because me and my cousin, we would play at the choir, and they heard me. The director, he said, "Man, I would love to take you," you know, because they were going up to New York and back. And so my mom said, "Okay, you can go with them because they're church people." It was like being on tour with the Sex Pistols. It was it was not like what my mom thought, you know what I mean? And that was my first time, and I toured with them from, you know, for 2 years, so I was like 17, and then I quit that because it was so chaotic. I couldn't take it anymore.
Wow.
You know, I was burned out from playing with the choir. They were like the worst behaving people I'd ever been on tour with. They were the worst. After graduation, I toured with David Cassidy, if anybody remembers him.
Sure, yeah.
Partridge Family, Sheena Easton,
Wow.
her, LaToya Jackson, you know, Michael Jackson's sister, and then, you know, with Jacksons here and there, you know. So that's pretty much how it started. I went backwards. I got right out of high school and was on the road, you know, doing
Right.
Giants, and then, you know, then I ended up coming back to clubs, so it was backwards for me, you know, the trajectory. So that was like I remember that was like a smack in the face, you know what I mean? So, well, but last week I played for 30,000 people, yeah?
And you were making money on the road.
Making a lot of money, you know, and then, you know, and you know, to come back and, you know, and have to hustle and play bars. You know, but the thing is, you know, I still love it. I don't see it as a step down at all. Not at all.
There you go.
You know, because usually my eyes are closed. I could be in Madison Square Garden. I would go to a music store and not look at any guitars except for Strats. I wouldn't even look at other guitars. It was just a Strat for me. So I met Mr. Peter Wolf one night. We had already known each other. I don't know how. You know, he said, "I really want you to check out one of the guitars." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." I was going to get on stage. I was literally walking up the steps to get on stage to perform, and my good friend Lucas Franzoli was standing there with a white Knaggs. He said, "Hey man, can you play this on a song or two? Tell me what you think of it." So I took the guitar and I played it, you know, the first song, the second song, and eventually I forgot that I wasn't playing my own guitar. You know, and now, you know, it's just Knaggs for me all the way. You know, I've played every guitar you can think of. Every guitar you can think of. You know, and a lot of them were cool, but I don't know, these guitars speak to me, dude. For me, the Severin, you know, particularly, it solved all the problems I had with the Strat. You know, like, I could play my Strat, I would hand it to a friend and they would give it back. I can't play this thing, you know what I mean? So for me, the Knaggs solved all those, you know, all the little problems, the bolt-on neck, you know, and, you know, stuff like that, you know, with the neck stability, of course. I mean, I would play this string and it would go off the fret or whatever. All those, you know, just things like that add up to a lot.
Where can people find your music?
It's on Spotify. Is an easy place to listen to it. I'm also on Bandcamp. You know, if you want to support a musician, go on Bandcamp. So I'm there. Check me out.
Sounds great.
Check me out.
Mike, thanks so much.
Thank you, homie.
We
you
appreciate
guys,
everything, man.
Love y'all dudes, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Back at you.
Well, I feel so lovely.